I literally ran by. I was so close, I could have kissed him. And he just went like this. And I thought, he hasn't tackled me. And I scored. It's not as if I'm the ugliest guy in the world, you know. And so I got the try, so that was good. Yeah, man, you're pinging today. You're on fire. You're fizzing. You know, you're at the bunghole, mate. You're going for it. We were quite hot that day.
Stewart, away to Wilson. Stu Wilson, that's a try and a brilliant one for the Flying Wellington centre. Houston up and through a chance for Wilson.
I'm a little bit deep, but I'm seeing it, I'm thinking, sheesh, lucky bits, he's gone. And he just drew a couple of guys in and gave me the ball, and I had the last run into the guy, about 15 metres to go. Gave him the old little shimmy off the right leg, burst through the tackle to score the try.
Wilson pulls it down. A try.
And all you do is you look for Huey. Thank you, mate. You are beautiful. Thank you for the pass.
Oopsie daisy, there we go. Yes, good morning all. Sad week here in New Zealand rugby, and of course the passing of Stu Wilson a couple of days ago. Remember watching him for the mighty Wellington Lions many times at Athletic Park, and well, yeah, it's a sad day when we lose a guy like Stu Wilson. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, good morning. How you going? Yeah, sad day. One of New Zealand's best backs has passed on.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason I'm showing this photo, this is my best mate in America there, Davey Jacobson. At the time, he was working for the USA Rugby and doing all their computery stuff. And he stayed with me during the Lions tour. And we went down to Westpac Stadium at the time, or Sky Stadium, or Wellington Stadium, whatever stadium you want to call it. And we were just standing there. I was having a smoke, and he saw Stu Wilson come through the turnstiles, and he went, "Oh my God, there's Stu. He's my bloody childhood idol." And I went, "Oh, do you want to meet him?" And he goes, "Oh, he wouldn't do that, would he?" I went, "Yeah, hang on." And I literally shouted out, I went, "Hey, Stu." And he looked around, turned around and went, "Oh, g'day, Rams. How are you, mate?" I went, "Oh, good." I said, "Hey, here's my mate from America. He's your idol. You're his idol. Would you like to get a photo?" And he went, "Not a problem." I mean, it's like this is what Stu Wilson was like. He was happy to just say g'day to his fans and all that. And, of course, it made this guy in America absolutely sort of like, oh, this was one of the best moments of his life. So yeah, so to Stu's family and all that, you know, we pass on our condolences, and yeah, it's just sad really that we've lost the guy. So I know it's a bit of a somber way to start a show, but hey, you've got to remember the guy. 85 times he played for the All Blacks, 34 tests. Was the record try scorer at one point until Kerwin took it off him. Yeah, not much more you can say about it, really, can you?
No, he was one of the good guys.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. So, if you have any thoughts on that, throw them in the comments about your meetings with Stu Wilson. As I said, rest in peace, and but there we go. So,
I've just got a bit of Nico.
Oh, okay. He loves hearing me in stereo. So anyway, while we're waiting for Mike to come back, which is fine. Super Rugby Pacific. Wow. What can I say? It all started, of course. Here we go. That was good timing. Hang on, I'll see if I can bring him back on. G'day. Right. We have to talk about it, don't we? Well, Crusaders, we knew they were going to win. We both picked it. We knew it was going to be wet. But the Crusaders definitely dominated the forwards there for the Reds, and they really didn't get kicking until the 70th minute, did they? Nah, your microphone's not working. No, he's gone away. He'll sort out his microphone. So the Crusaders, they did get up well and did dominate. Great try by Noah Hotham there, a little chip and run through and all that sort of stuff. But the poor old the Reds, I actually thought they would have been a lot more, how can I put it? A bit more in it, because, I mean, they've played a lot of their matches in the wet this year. Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right.
I was just saying, the Reds, I thought they would have put up a bit of a fight, because they've been playing a lot of wet rugby this year. Was it just a bit too cold for them?
They got shut out of the game. Pretty much. They couldn't get going. The ball was just far too good for them.
Yeah, so Crusaders become the top seeds, winning that game, because, oh my God, I mean, the phones were ringing all over the place on Saturday night, weren't they? I mean, how many times did I ring you getting really pissed off on Saturday? So the Blues, they were given every opportunity to win, even an extra 4 minutes, and they took it. And I mean, it didn't help that the Chiefs lost Luke Jacobson at the beginning of that match, but really, the Chiefs should have closed that game out, eh?
Yeah, I thought the boys were pretty lucky to win it. Obviously, couldn't win any favour. There was a couple of muck tries. I think a little bit of that performance.
Oh, yeah, I know. And, I mean, yeah, sure, there was some good moves there by the Blues and all that, but there was a lot of kicking and a lot of wayward kicking. And, you know, I know they go for these 50-22 things, but if you're going to, at least get it near the touchline. I mean, some of those kicks were just straight down the middle, and then we've got the aerial ping pong happening, you know? And it's sort of like, I mean, I did hear them say that on the breakdown the other night, you know, about how they have all the, this wayward kicking. And I think it was Justin Marshall brought it up, and it was some interesting stats. It was like there was so much kicking in the games over the weekend, like increased by heaps, but then the actual pulling it off a decent kick had dropped by almost 5%, you know. So it was an interesting statistic that Marshy brought up. And so I was looking at that going, wow, because then, of course, the Hurricanes, can we have a moment's silence? You tell me about my Hurricanes, because I can't.
Well, I was actually quite disappointed with it. Probably could have won that game. Where do I start? Brumbies were just too powerful up front. The Canes showed, but they just weren't good enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said it once. I've said it a million times. This is my most dire fixture in any Super Rugby season since 1996. The Hurricanes going to Canberra. It always sends a shiver up my spine. And, I mean, you know, sure, we picked up the win this year during the round robin, but it was a close win. So Stephen Larkham, I mean, he's a genius, really, to put the game plan together because the Hurricanes were in it. They were fighting, but it's sort of like, my God, you know, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was the Chiefs on Saturday night, I would be a little bit weary, would you not?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's the bloody Brumbies. Ugh! So the finals are the Blues taking on the Crusaders at Apollo Project Stadium on Friday night, 7:00 New Zealand time, and the Chiefs taking on the Brumbies on Saturday night, 7:00. So the Chiefs, the Crusaders, my golly, they are 30-0 in home games and playoffs. Are the Blues going to upset, or do you think, you know, this is a game? These are the games the Crusaders are built for.
Well, I think the Blues are capable of winning it. Obviously, the Martin Moon gold. But the Crusaders are peaking at the right time. It's going to be hard to split them.
It certainly is. I mean, it is the case of flush the dunny on last year, isn't it? If that's probably the best term. I mean, sure, they had a new coach and they had a few players, you know, leave and retire. I mean, you know, they're making out, you know, Rico and Mark Talia and Caleb Clark are just great. But then again, you know, their line breaks and all that haven't really been much this year. They've had a lot of ball, but not sort of been breaking the lines at all. Rico Ioane has only just started scoring again. Is that a problem? You know, what I'll be interested in, though, is to see how many of these Blues players are now in All Black selection, even though those two on the screen are leaving. You know, isn't Talia going to Japan or France or something?
Yep.
And Ioane's off to Leinster. So, you know, it's sort of like, you know, at the end of the day, you know they're going to be picked, you know, because that's what their contract states.
You're right. Crusaders are all putting on the Mighty Williams as well.
Yeah, I don't think he will be there. I think, I've got this niggling thought that he won't be in it, but hopefully he's there because they'll need a scrum to really, battle the forwards for of the Blues, because I think they'll be going hard out. I just want to give a quick shout out to my good buddy Jeff Alley. He was getting all excited when the Chiefs were winning, and then I went, "Oh no, you're," because he also supports the Blues. I said, "Oh well, who are you supporting? I thought you were supporting the Blues." And he sends me a photo of him playing for Waikato, and I went, "Oh okay." And then anyway, after they win, he went, "Woohoo!" I went, "You turncoat." I mean, talk about having a foot in both camps, only because he lives in North Harbour. But then shouldn't he be supporting Moana Pacifica? You know, because that's the home of Moana. So actually, I'll bring that up to him next time I'm chatting with him. But so I'm going to go for the the Crusaders to win by 8. There we go. If you disagree, put it in the comments.
I'm going to go the Blues by 6.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I might not get you on next week if that happens.
Well, you know I'm not a Crusader.
And you know I'm not a Blues one. So anyway, okay, so we've got the Crusaders hosting the final because they're the number 1 seed, and they will be taking on the winner on Saturday between the Brumbies and the Chiefs. The Chiefs, of course, worst losers. They still get the home advantage, though. The Brumbies are still spitting on Severis's knock-on, I see, over the weekend, because that cost them a home semi-final. As I said, part of me goes, yeah, okay, it's at home, it's the Chiefs, the Brumbies, but the Brumbies are so much like the Crusaders, aren't they? They're peaking at the right time. Alan Alatoa is just a rock. I think he'd only scored like one try, and he scored about 5 this year. So in his career, now he's scored about 5 this year. So he's on fire. Always keep thinking he's going to be retiring, but he keeps going and going, a bit like James Slipper. Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, this is going to be a doozy. Brumbies have got that line, Muir here, cool. Len there, right straight. But I think the Chiefs are going to come out and avenge last week's loss. I think they're going to win it. I think they're going to win it well.
Yeah, no, I think it will be quite good as well. I am wondering, though, you know how sometimes I play a video and then I'll get pinged and I get really nervous about playing a video?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a horrible feeling that even though that video was on Sky, I've got a horrible feeling that they've actually, they may have, oh no, there's a viewer there, so it is working. Yeah, I was just a bit worried about playing that because they tend to put a bit of a block for a week on something, but thank you to Sky Sports for the video. Yeah, so, but yes, I think the Brumbies, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked then because I was just seeing a 0 and I just thought, because I'm over blockages at the moment. Brumbies, Chiefs. Okay, I'm just going to come out now and go, I reckon on Saturday night, the Brumbies are going to teach the Chiefs a lesson and win by 12.
That's interesting.
I know. I like outsiders. I might go to the TAB and see if I can get some odds on that, because I think they'll be paying about $4 probably head to head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you've got Quinto Paya. He was sort of running a bit of an injury scare there. You had Jacobson. Will he be back, or did they just rest him, knowing that whatever happened, they were going to get a semi-final at home? Because that could have happened. It's hard to say. I think it'll be a close match. Who are you going to go for?
Chiefs by 10.
Who? Chiefs by
10.
Okay, so then if we take the difference here, someone's going to win by 2. Well, that's the way I look at it. So again, Friday night we've got the Crusaders Blues. Saturday night we've got the Chiefs and the Brumbies. But your thoughts on the season so far? How have you thought it's gone?
Oh, it's been a good season, I think. A couple of upsets. Plenty of social media from the players, and plenty of towards the rest.
Yeah, well, again, I suppose one of the biggest ones I look at for upsets of the year would have to be the Western Force getting up over the Brumbies after 5,500 days, as they like to say nowadays, over the Brumbies in Canberra. I thought that was the upset of the season for me. I don't know. Have any new players for you in the New Zealand sides stood out like, I want to be an All Black, who hasn't been named in the All Blacks before?
Parker. From the Chiefs.
Well, yeah. Okay. Why?
Because of workload.
Fair enough. For me, I reckon we will see Ruben Love named as a first 5. and I think Peter Larkai will squeak in there. Yep, hurricane-friendly picks there, but I think we'll see those two there. Even though Larkai's been and Ruben Love's been before, but from my neck of the woods, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
I
don't think so.
No.
Yeah, because you've got Roygaard, you got Ratama, and dare I say that? Finley Christie, yeah. There is so much buzz around his name when you're watching all the other media about him, and I'm going, oh, do we really need the Scotsman? You know, because I think he's done his dash, but when you come up against the French, you know, you need old heads, I suppose, and but I guess we'll find out in a couple of weeks' time after the Super Rugby final. We'll bring it live here. Hopefully all our blocks are lifted by then. But but otherwise, looking forward to Friday and Saturday night from 7 o'clock. And of course, we'll be back next week with the rundown on that. Because before all of that happens, we've got this on. Yes, I even took that photo inside my lounge when I had the privilege of having the original. Well, not the original, but the Ranfurly Shield before it became looking like that. Now, take a good look at that Ranfurly Shield, okay? And then I'll show you what it looked like before Hawke's Bay broke it. Did you see the difference? Big, fat thing, and back to what it should have looked like. So, we've got tomorrow... at Stadium Taranaki, 10,000 tickets have already been given away. Yep, not sold, free entry, but it was still by ticket only. And what a promotion by the Taranaki to do that. Getting 10,000 free tickets Wednesday night. It might look like a bit of rain there too, probably looking at the upcoming weather forecasts. But bloody great promotion by them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what Union do to get people through the gate.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time we saw 10,000 people at a bloody Ranfurly Shield Challenge? You know, they're bringing out all the big guns. They're bringing out the flash new jerseys. Gallagher, of course, new sponsors here in New Zealand. Oh, don't be surprised. I know we're still on the Bunnings, but don't be surprised if it ends up being the Gallagher MPC once Bunnings have done their dash with their, what do you call it? Their sponsorship. I sort of saw that come in a couple of years ago. But the match day 23 we've got here for Taranaki. Quite a good team. There are several, what do you call them? Debuters. Knightley Watson, actually from Wanganui. Been playing in the Heartland there. Ollie Lawson at flanker. Sage Walters Hansen, number 8 there. From Combs. Oh, that's their sponsors. I thought they had their teams beside it. Ben Dufassi, number 12. And of course, Jacob Ratumatuka Nika Neekums. I can never say his name. It is the tongue twister for any rugby commentator. And then, of course, in the reserves, they're going to have Harry Hansen making his debut off the bench, Patrick O'Carroll-Harmey. I'm wondering if he's related to Brendan Harmey. And Jack Wiseman. At number 23, though, Obey Samati, he's actually pulled out injured and has been replaced by Jack Parker. So, tough squad, 7 debutants in a Ranfurly Shield. Some guys play their whole career without having a Ranfurly Shield. And these guys are going to make a debut in one. What do you think about that? Not
about there's not many names some are saying guaranteed squad, but you can't underestimate Neil Barnes.
True. because he's named quite a tough team, hasn't he? We've got Toby Tuakaki, Liam Rowlands leading from the front again, Kerry Panay, Cornelius, Maxima Dunster, Peter T. Kahu, Caleb Ford, Saxon Hunter, Kaha Takura Mita, I think that could be his debut as well in the forwards. And then, of course, you've got Christian Standen, Kieran Rollison, Apiti Martai, Moses Baravala, Jofisi Malamosi, Bevan Brown, and Logan Patterson. And then in reserves, you're going to have Sam Robinson, Dennis Peters, Tom Ryan, Valami Nakama, Jared Crossland, Kane Tamo, Cameron Robinson, and Hawawa Kahu. Yeah, I mean, they're coming to play, aren't they, King Country? That's why I'm wearing the awesome King Country Rams shirt from way back when, and this week's flag brought to you by King Country. Yeah, so your thoughts there?
Aaron Dunn named a pretty strong squad. Obviously, Glenn Waller and Dean Draper over the year.
Yeah.
Liam Rowland, Caleb Foote, Malamosi in the midfield. We all know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And Logan had back there. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a battle.
Oh, it's going to be a hell of a battle, all right. And of course, but there are a couple of changes in there too from their Lahore Cup winning team from the end of last year. So, if you want to wonder how they're going to go, and I don't know, well, several hundred people have watched it. Just scroll down the page a bit, and we ran our first virtual Ranfurly Shield game, which was a bit of fun to run a couple of days ago. Sure, it only went for 20 minutes, our game, based on an 80-minute game. We have, I think it was 32-5 or something, to Taranaki. Do you think we're going to see a score like that, a blowout?
More than likely. But it'll be good. I think Rams the field.
Well, wouldn't it be awesome? I still believe the Ranfurly Shield should be in Heartland because, I mean, sure, they got 10,000 people going for free, but, I mean, imagine King Country getting up and then their first defence is against Wanganui. You know? It'd be huge. I'd even go up to Tamaranui or Tikawiti to watch that match. I'd jump in the car and I'll be gone. I reckon it'll be a hell of an occasion. You'd get a street parade. You'd get the kids enjoying it. You get lolly scrambles. I'll be right in there grabbing the lollies, you know. So, good on King Country tomorrow. Now, I do believe there will be a live stream of it, but I haven't found any links for it yet. But if there is, we will definitely share that over to Rugby Heartland Facebook page so you can sit back and watch it. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock. So if you don't want to watch the Auckland news, because that's all it's about. I mean, I'll just say this. I was watching the news. They're talking about all the snow down south and all the weather down south and all that. And they still had to go, and be careful, Auckland, because it might get cold here. And I'm going, the story is about the South Island, for frick's sakes. Just let Auckland have their own bloody thing. You know, I just get annoyed when the news always brings Auckland into it somehow. I mean, we could have riots in Wellington, but in Auckland, the train was late. You know, who cares? And on top of that, going really political, spending billions of dollars on a new airport in Auckland. Why not spend it in Wellington? Why not spend it in Christchurch or Ashburton? Just so. But anyway, I digress. Because what we have been talking about recently are guys who have played a lot of games. How about this fella? Brad Carr from Fielding Yellows. Last weekend, played his 400th, 400 games for the fielding club. Now, you mentioned to me we should do a list of top cap scorers and all that, and it's not that easy to do, of course, but because of what goes on in the world and stuff like that. I mean, every week there's someone getting their 50th cap or 100th cap. Good friend of mine, Rowan O'Gorman, West Coast ex-captain. I know he's on 348 for Maris Albion in Christchurch. There was a chap over at Tuarangi in the Wairarapa. He brought up 500 games a couple of years ago. We should start a search, shouldn't we? We want people to start putting in the comments your club's highest capped player of all time, basically, so we can put together a list. And we'll start with you. Who's your most capped player for Southern?
John Anthony. He's well over 250. 250 for Southern and 100 something for Canterbury. So he'll be well over 300.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a couple of Centurions at the Johnsonville Club here in Wellington, but I'd have to double check those numbers because I've sort of been out of the loop for the last 2 years with them. But it would be great to. It's awesome that these guys are getting 50s and 100s, even 150s. But we want to find, and we need everyone's help out there to pretty much tell us, tongue-tied then, tell us who in your club around the country are the top dog, basically. So we can put together a list. Problem about doing these lists is that they can change every week. You know what I mean? But at least we can have a bit of a guide for other guys to look at and go, well, actually, I could become the 4th highest ever capped player for a club rugby in New Zealand. All I need to play is 10 more games. That's one more season. Oh, why not?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of boys down in Bluff. They're pretty high up. There's Blair McElroy from Darfield. He's well over 300.
Yeah, and then you got guys like Stephen Crackett and Anthony Ellis over in the Bulla region. They're on about 13,000 games each. And it was awesome to see that they're still going to be pulling on the Cardinal Blues in the trial matches this year for Bulla after they announced their training squads moving into the pre-season in Heartland. So it's good to see that these guys are still doing really well. And it's also good with Bulla being able to name quite an extended squad to even have a development team. So, they may be the smallest union in the country, but they can still put out a couple of big squads. But otherwise, Blue City Seeds, I know that your guys are in it, or the Waters Cup. How's that progressing at the moment down in the south?
Yeah, we had a win against Western and cold wet conditions. I think we're going to finish overall sixth or seventh in that competition. The Waters Cup next round kicks off on the 28th of June. We're playing at Celtic. Top of the table too.
Well, up here in the Winterless North, we have my club, Jayville. They're still holding on to 8th place in the Swindale Shield in their sort of 125th year. And it looks like they'll probably survive the cut for Jubilee, for the Jubilee Cup coming up in a few weeks' time. There's still about 2 or 3 rounds to go in that. So it'll be quite good to see how that progresses. It becomes pretty much knockout football after all of that. So, it's a bit hard. But, we'll see what happens here in Wellington. Of course, over in the Wairarapa, there's been some great games there. Martinborough, talking about games being played. Tippy Hyra, he had his 150th game for Martinborough, and they were playing Carterton. And they got up by 41 points to 40, believe it or not. and Carterton had a conversion to win it, and they missed.
They missed it.
It was a bit of a club day at Martinborough, so they were, I can tell you what, celebrating big time. A very good win over the last two-time champions. Well, last 2 years in a row, the Carterton have been the Moose Carpety winners. So it was a big win for Martinborough. And so to James Bruce and the team there, congratulations on an awesome win. And to Tippy, who I know, congratulations on bringing up 150. So that's pretty much it for New Zealand rugby. But as I said, we talk about a lot of other stuff around the place as well. So around the other place, we do have, believe it or not, American football, not gridiron. It's the final round of the Major League Rugby, and there are a few Kiwis floating around. And I'll just mention too, a guy that's been playing Major League Rugby in recent years has been Tarangatira Waitokia from Wanganui. And I noticed in the squad that Wanganui have put out from Kairau Club, one Tarangatira Waitokia is in the Wanganui squad. So he's, after making a little fortune probably over in America, has come back and he's going to give back to Wanganui Rugby this year. But some big scores there with Chicago getting up over Houston, and the New England getting up over New Orleans, Utah getting up over LA. San Diego, though, they smashed Old Glory, which is from Washington, by 50 points. But unfortunately, the next result didn't really care because everyone beats Anthem, who are coached by Alama Eremia, who have yet to win a game in 3 years in the Major League. But then it came down to this game, Seattle playing Miami. And Seattle had to get a bonus point victory to get up over the San Diego. And unfortunately for San Diego, they did, because we ended up with the final 8. They go east-west like they do in gridiron and baseball and ice hockey. They're down in these conferences thing. And so the playoffs are, and you do, I think Sky show these games as well. But Saturday, which will be New Zealand time, Sunday New Zealand time, of course, we'll have Utah taking on Seattle, which is actually part owned by the Crusaders, believe it or not. And we've got the Houston Sabercats taking on LA. And then we have Chicago taking on Old Glory and New England taking on Miami. I'm going to go for Miami to get up in this. I mean, they ended up with an 8-8 record. These were the final tables here. But looking at these, you'd think the final should, in theory, be New England playing Utah. And I know my mate Jeff Alley will be interested in that too, because I think James Semple, he was involved with Utah for a little bit. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the American rugby goes, because they've got to do something, don't they? To increase their skill levels. And I still think they still have too many imports in their teams.
Yeah, well, I thought about gridiron over there, but there needs to be more rugby awareness in the US.
Well, apparently they've signed a deal with CBS over there to show a lot of rugby. So hopefully, if they can get it. I mean, university rugby in America is actually like more people playing the game in universities than in New Zealand. So, and we're just talking about university. It is actually a large sport in America. But, when is this giant going to wake? I don't know. Maybe after this giant here in New Zealand finally falls asleep.
Yeah, I don't know. What I play.
Yeah. So is that the job of our new CEO at the beginning of 2026? And are they going to, with the announcement that Mark Robinson is stepping down from New Zealand Rugby, Are we going to see someone in-house get the job, or are they going to bring in, like New Zealand cricket did, and bring in some South African?
Oh, it depends. It depends. Resume, I guess. They probably need to start in New Zealand and iron out a few issues.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, and it was also interesting that the chairman and the CEO both live in Australia and they all fly home. Now we know where all the money's going, paying their expense fees. I'd love to travel to Sydney every other week for a meeting. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah, sure would.
Sure would. But and then what else have we got coming? I haven't got the graphics, but Argentina have announced their team to play the Lions. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're not that far away. We've had a couple of pullouts from the Lions. I see Xander Ferguson is out now, gone injured, and Finlay Belham. He's been brought in to replace him. So yeah, it'd be the Lions buzz is beginning. I mean, after Les Kiss was interviewed after the Crusaders game, he did say he was looking forward to meeting Fozzie to discuss their next plan. What All Blacks do you think are going to be in this Anzac side, or the Australia-New Zealand Invitational? I wish they'd just called it the Anzacs, but hey.
Could be here all day, maybe. But we must do a shout out to Susan, King Country Ram Bella from last year. Scored a try in the corner. Who's been named in the money squad.
Yes.
Latrell, Myler,
yes. Because I was just going to say, when we were announcing the team, and thank you for reminding me, I couldn't remember his name because he wasn't in the team. Now we know why. He's in the Samoan side. There are about 3 or 4 Kiwis in that team. I was having a quick look to see if that guy Curran from Moana Pacifica was in it, just to be on the safe side, just to see if he was being named there. But he could be Curran. No, I'm not even going to attempt to butcher his name. But you know who I'm talking about, the young guy on the wing of Moana. You think he could be an outsider for the ABs? Well, because I did take a quick look at that Samoan lineup to see who was picked, and his name wasn't there. I'm sure he was Samoan, but he could be Tongan actually, with the surname he has. But I mean, we've had quite a few Heartland guys end up representing Samoa in the past, so it's awesome to see that King Country have another rep there as well. Moving forward. So that's about enough of our bleating. Good to see we've got a few likes and hearts and views and all that. My other dramas, stay tuned, still working on it. Just wish people would answer phone calls. I don't know what they have to hide. You know who I'm talking about. But otherwise, that's about us for the day.
Bloody good.
Any parting words?
Good luck, King Country and Taranaki tomorrow. I'd like to see the Ram build, but it's possible, wasn't it?
Anything is possible, and in saying that, just remember a couple of years ago, Wanganui pushed Taranaki quite hard in that first game of the season for the Shield. So, but hey, if Taranaki do hold on to it, Wanganui get a crack at it next. So it'll be interesting that'll be another good game to keep an eye on and see it moving forward. So yeah, well, that's enough for me. Bleep. Good luck, King Country. I really do. Hope you do it. And good luck to your Southern boys. And we'll talk next week.
No worries. Cheers, mate.
Okay.
See you later.
soon.
See you later.